My name is Lily Ebert. I got my pendant when I was a little girl, 5, 6 years old, from my mother. That is the only thing really what I have from childhood. And the most important thing is what it happened to it. The pendant was hidden because when the Nazis invaded Hungary, we had to give up everything. The pendant was in my mother's shoe. After a short while, we were taken. Then they put us in one wagon, about 70, 80 people, men, women, children, and the journey began. The last day, my mother said, maybe we should change shoes. And like that, my mother's shoe with the pendant was with me. And then we arrived at a place. There it was standing a man. This man was Dr. Mengele. This time we didn't know who he was. He was with a stick in his hand, and he said, or right or left. People who they sent to right, there in this was my mother, my younger brother, and sister. That was the last time when I saw my mother and my family.
Holocaust Memorial Day should force us all to face up to the realities of the Holocaust, Nazi persecution, and subsequent genocides in Cambodia, Rwanda, Bosnia, and Darfur. These atrocious acts are the result of allowing hate to win, allowing somebody's difference to be the reason they die. Between 1941 and 1945, 6 million Jewish men, women, and children were murdered in Europe in an organised and systematic massacre. European Jewry has never recovered, with 2 out of every 3 Jews in Europe being killed during the Holocaust. The Nazis targeted anyone who did not fit their racist ideal, with millions of Roma and Sinti people, disabled people, gay people, and political opponents being killed during their regime. Whilst the shadow of the Holocaust looms, subsequent genocides have proven that the capacity for evil has not died. In Cambodia, between 1975 and 1979, millions were killed by the Khmer Rouge. In Rwanda, in 1994, approximately 1 million Tutsis and moderate Hutus were murdered in just 100 days. A year later, in 1995, Bosnian Serb forces murdered 8,000 Muslim men and boys in the town of Srebrenica. In 2003, a civil war in Darfur has resulted in the deaths of up to 400,000 black Africans and displaced up to 2.6 million people. And around the world, Holocaust denial and anti-Jewish racism are on the rise again. And we cannot become complacent in tackling hate and intolerance, however it may present itself. Hate hasn't gone away, and we must fight it with light every day and not just on Holocaust Memorial Day. May the memories of those we have lost be a blessing.
So I left my house like 4 days after 7th. Then from that time until end of May, I think, when the RPF comes to my area. It was like 1 month and a half, which is long journey for me in that time. Wrong journey and bad journey. At the end, you say, but it happened. I don't have mom, I don't have dad, I don't have brothers, I don't have sisters. You cry, you think, you spend a lot of time without sleeping. Sometimes you see them, sometimes you feel they are still alive, but they are not. So I say, okay, I lost my mother, I lost my father, I lost my brother and my sister and family and friend, but my life continues. I have to find a job, work hard, get married, and get children, and get another family. But not to forget but to rebuild your life again.
Waking up, rebuilding, and healing the past.
So we don't forget.
Be the light in the darkness.
Holocaust Memorial Day is a sad time for my family because family members were slaughtered in the Holocaust. Relatives who never had the opportunity of being part of the family. We live with the regret of not knowing what really happened to them. There's an emptiness that can never be filled. Holocaust Memorial is a time to remember, to grieve, to mourn, and reflect. I cannot understand such inhumane acts and pray that the Holocaust atrocities are never forgotten or repeated. Baruch Dayan Ha'emet, which translates as Blessed is the Judge of Truth.
My great-grandmother had the privilege to die at the grand age of 100. I am lighting one of her old candles in memory of her family members who were killed by the Gestapo.
This light is for every person that has experienced prejudice, discrimination and intolerance. Let's stand together to work for a safer and kinder future for everyone.
Holocaust Memorial Day, to me, means a time to pause and reflect.
We're lighting this candle lest we forget, and to shine a light on injustice and oppression everywhere.